I've been thinking a lot about, since I've been on the council, you know, we did a proclamation last year, and many of you participated, commemorating 400 years of documented history of Africans coming to this country as slaves, as Daniela mentioned in her poem. But I think about that 400 years plus on this continent and everything that we've gone through, everything that's happened to us, and everything that has happened through us. We have done so much with those cuts and tears and perseverance. The story of black people in this country is nothing short of a miracle, and all that we've contributed and continue to contribute. And I also think equally about the 400 years prior to that. And you mentioned this in your poem as well, and how for most of human history, black people on this planet were kings and queens and architects and engineers and builders and innovators. But how that is so lost for us here on this continent for so many. And I couldn't agree with that underlying message that you had in your poem, Daniela, even more, that we need to teach that. Not just this month, the shortest month of the year, right? Not just during Black History Month, but every day, all day. Our history, your history, my history is American and world history, and we need to teach it. And so I think it was an honor for me to participate in this video that you're about to see, commemorating some of our local Black history. I had the honor of meeting with Mr. Eddie Dove and his niece Kay, whom you'll hear from. Mr. Dove is an 80-year-old Scotland community resident, the descendant of William Dove, the former slave who bought 36 acres of land in the 1880s that became Scotland. Think about that, in 1880s, 36 acres. I mean, can you imagine what that is today? And I can tell you it's a lot. In that part of the county today, that land is very expensive. And the foresight and the courage, think about all the people who didn't like that, and what he had to do that. As Mr. Dove shared about his life growing up in Scotland, I thought about my life in the county and how similar they were. I grew up on the other side of the county in the Long Branch area of Silver Spring. Mr. Dove and the residents in Scotland, for much of his life, his early life, when he was about my age 80 years ago, were denied things like running water and paved roads. And they grew up very low income and just had what they need and had to support each other. I thought about my life growing up in Long Branch in a dilapidated apartment with a single mother, not being able to afford much but the basic necessities. So we both grew up 80 years apart in the same county with some similar circumstances at a totally different time, not necessarily benefiting from the great affluence that was then and is now in Montgomery County. So when I think about our history, I think about how much we've persevered, how much we've overcome, how much we've accomplished, but I also think about how much work we have yet to do to ensure that that liberty and that justice is truly for all. So I thank you. I'm excited to be here. I thank all my colleagues, and I'm proud that Sydney and I got through this without crying. Thank you very much.
The day is young.